just doesn't recognize it's the same kind of thing. I wonder if this is because these are being classified as destroyers rather than Kaiserreich destroyers, like vanilla. I'd love to upgrade the engines in these as well. It's just so expensive. Definitely one of the major issues I have with Kaiserreich at the moment, that ships don't start the tier that they're supposed to be. Alright, well, I guess we're just not going to build any destroyers for the time being. What we could do is start building some Furious class carriers. Or not, because it costs all of our resources. Done in 2 years, though. What's the capacity of one of these? Also, it's the crappy engine type. One thing which I think I might do... Do I care? What year are the improved ships? 33. I mean, we don't get another model for 3 more years, so if we wanted to build something, we'd want it upgraded now. I didn't realize the carriers are quite so expensive. Yeah, 8 steel per slot. Oof. Oof. Heavy carrier ones are cheaper, but they have a lot less overall build cost. So if I were to design my own, it would look something like this. Doesn't actually show you what resources this is going to cost. It's like, why is the Furious class an extra steel? Is it the extra... Yeah, there we go, it's the extra hangar space. Resources per factory to produce. I didn't realise they had that as well. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a cost increase. Interesting. Hey, Grumpy Tiger. Want some of those destroyers V-class. Yeah, they're all different classes, but none of them could be upgraded. And it shouldn't matter what class they are, so long as they're the same type. The same, tier. So, what other ships could we do? We could start building some better cruisers. And make sure our recon is tip-top, and then just upgrade the radar as they become available. Cruisers are actually cheaper than destroyers? In terms of resource usage, they are. Well, that's interesting. Do I want cruisers to be anti-submarine? Probably. This is not a cheap ship. I definitely want these to be quick, though. They'll be very much a multi-role ship. Hit and run. Oh, I have no armor. Oh man, that makes them expensive. Is that worth it? I think that's worth it. Not if you want something relatively affordable. Okay, let's go with this. So these are going to be called the Shocking class. We're not going to have fire control, we're going to have radar and sonar. Need to make sure that those are in the right slots. That would suck if they weren't. We could also add another gun. You know what? I think that our ships are already going to be really fast. So we're going to go with light cruiser batteries all around. Because the AI doesn't tend to upgrade engines. No, we're going to make these light batteries. Oh! Right, we need a float plane too. Duh. Otherwise you don't get the discovery. Yeah, now these are recon fleets. Maybe I'll do one light cruiser. It's only a 0.5 difference. And a 125 cost increase. And it's extra hit points. Yeah, we'll do this. I like this for the Shocking class. The only thing that we could potentially improve would be the armor. But that also increases the number of resources we need. And we're quite a resource poor nation, so we're not going to do that. Alright, so why are you less steel intensive? Oh, because that's a destroyer. Right, yes, we already recognise that fact. Cool. Then I feel like we could invest in a couple more dockyards. We'll get 5 in total. So then we can build one one screen at a time. Death of David Murray Anderson. Today all flags within Sydney are being flown at half-mast after the sudden death of David Murray Anderson. Sir Anderson, or Mr. Anderson, as he's sometimes known, the current sitting governor of New South Wales, is most famously known for his successful evacuation of the British colonies to the in the East Indies, saving thousands of lives as well as a large portion of the British Pacific Fleet. While Mr. Anderson has been ill for some time, leaving Sir Philip Street to fill in for his public appearances, he has been vocal in supporting the Australasian Guard as the only right-thinking men in Australasia who would be capable of enacting his plans to retake the East Indies. His death has only further built support for the right-wing movement. Not a fine man. Naughty man. How dare you stand against the rightful communist uprising, or the syndicalist uprising? It's what the people voted for. Kind of. Shipbuilding aspect of Hoi 4 has grown on me. Many choices now. I still maintain that this is one of the best, like, naval simulators now. It's really good. Hey, Crypt. Right, and I need to tick off the ship names I'm using. So we have a Shocking class, we have an Amanda class, and this is... I can't really call this Hoi for Oz, because that could be the American Union State, it could be Austria. Oz. The world must learn of our peaceful Australian ways by force. Russia announces her ambitions. Numerous nations in Eastern Europe already record their embassies in Russia. So Russia, saber rattling. Doesn't look like the socialist uprising is ever going to happen there. Furthermore, Lend-Lease, how's this going? I think most of the guns have gone. The CSA is actually losing a couple of convoys. That's not great. Okay, now that we have started production on the cruiser, I am feeling safe enough to start training a couple more garrison units. Something like this. So we are going to need some more guns, 2,000 more, but that's fine. We are keeping production of those pretty steady. Wow, that's a big chunk of CSA up here. Usually we see that being annihilated pretty quickly. And the Carlists seem to have resurrected themselves somewhat. They're taking a little bit of land, but they're also losing some. State of the economy, done. Oh dear, CNTFAI is almost out of manpower already. That's not a good sign. Alright, so now we want to reform the bureaucracy. For an increase in the popularity of Social Democrats. The main problem facing our economy is the sheer magnitude of the governmental bureaucracy, laden down by archaic rules and focused on the colonial exploitation rather than efficiency. We need a modern government which can respond to issues before they can turn into the catastrophe which faces us now, not well after. This is also going to give us a bunch more stability and other buildy bonuses, which is good. And there's our radar. Wow, that is the most useless radar I have seen. They build a radar so that they can watch the coasts against incoming naval attacks. So of course they build it about as far inland as it is possible to go in New South Wales. That's a terrible position. What the hell? Sultanate of Egypt has declared war on the Ottomans. Iran has declared war on the Ottomans. So both of them going in straight away. And Mashrik has joined too. Bulgaria currently still standing, although Romania is across. Rebellion in Yemen. The Welsh Creek caused tremendous damage to the already struggling Ottoman Empire. Large sections of the Arabian Peninsula were cut off from the Sublime Porte's rule for years due to the successes of the Arab Revolt. Actual placement of the ship add-ons matters. To an extent, some of the slots don't. But in the instance of the Shokin class, this is a slot only for radar and sonar, and this is a slot only for fire control and sonar. So because I had the sonar here, this can't actually take radar. Well, if I have the sonar here, I can also get radar. So it's basically radar and sonar, fire control and sonar, or... No, those are the only combos. Oh no, you can do radar and fire control as well. You can't duplicate. And if you want radar and sonar, you have to do it in that order. Yemen declared war on the Ottomans. Yemen's joined the Cairo Pact, so the Ottomans are up against pretty much everyone they possibly could be. Which should help Bulgaria, but this is not a multiplayer game, so I don't think it's going to work very well. Patagonian Workers' Front took 11 states, Paraguay took 2, Argentina was annexed. Oh, hello! We actually have a socialist utopia down here. Declaration of the Argentine Commune. The forces of Frente Obrero Patagónico have triumphed decisively over Carles, Argentina, and seized the capital of Buenos Aires. With the victory, the socialists have openly proclaimed the creation of a true Argentine commune and the start of a new age for socialism in South America. A number of leading figures in the previous administration, as well as other notables, have been seen fleeing the country by ship. A serious victory. Ah, and we can now go to early mobilization. Boom. Bulgaria and the Ottomans have made peace. So I guess... Oh, no, that was Bulgaria surrendering, so Sofia must have just fallen. Alright. Unfortunately, this means the Cairo Pact... unfortunately for the Cairo Pact, this means the Ottomans are no longer fighting a two-front war. Fuel storage complete. Good. November 37, I'm going to go for the fuel refining. Yes, definitely. Hoping that doesn't count as one of my industrial tax. Don't think it does. The RDP take over in Bulgaria. Following the overwhelming loss in the Balkan War against the powerful Belgrade Pact, it seems as though the issue of selecting a new government was hot debate within Bulgaria. As it stood, the Bulgarian people themselves had three candidates who would lead the nation: the Liberal Radical Democrats, the Broad Socialists, and the Conservative Bulgarian Agrarian National Union, led by Alexander Stamboliski. In the end, it seems like the RDP were able to effectively seize power and cement their reign in Bulgaria. RDP... Nope, don't know who that is. The acronym doesn't actually align with any of the parties they were talking about. RDP is the Market Liberals. So too bad that this isn't the Dutch game. It's just good business. Computing machines. Done. So now I want the 19... Well, no, we're going to wait a little bit, and then we're going to get the improved computing machine for the extra research speed. Going to wait until the end of this year. Which is doable. Bureaucracy has been reformed. So now we can do the new railways, which will increase the infrastructure in the places we're building stuff. Expansion of the railroad system throughout the east will not only give our mining sectors a shot in the arm, but also provide much needed employment for a great number of people. And then probably urban expansion so we can get the extra building slots. And then wealth of the antipodes. Antipodes. Which is going to be another source of resources, although have to pay for them with political power. RDP was the Radical Democrat Party, okay. Modify the government. Do I want a head of military intelligence now? When can I get partial mobilization? 25% war support, which is doable, actually. The Mashariki Kingdom has capitulated. One of many times, I'm sure. I dread to think how many troops France has already lost. 400,000 against 300,000. Okay, it's not terrible. Cuba has joined the Reichspakt. Please tell me Union of Britain successfully invading Ireland. Of course they do. That would be far too easy. How come that didn't come through? Wilhelm van der Beek has gifted a sub to Captain Nathaniel. Thank you very much for that, Wilhelm. There wasn't a notification for that, was there? How on earth did I miss that? Oh, there was! Oh, I am so sorry. Thank you so much for giving the gifted sub to Captain Nathaniel. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thankfully, I looked at my notifications like, I don't remember that one. Still 3,000 guns short. How's the Lend-Lease going? Okay, so all the Lend-Leases have now been sent out. So those countries are on their own for the short term, at least until I can get my own armies back up to scratch. It looks like the CSA is doing okay for the time being. CNTFAI, I am not convinced, are doing very well. Seeing as they're out of manpower, so there's no point sending them guns. Which seems really quick. Lost 80,000, Carlos lost 27,000, so obviously they're doing really stupid attacks. Yeah, they're losing so many troops. Portugal has joined the Entente. Due to Portugal's long-standing ties to the royal family in Ottawa, they have officially joined the Entente. Whoa! The Italian government has gone into exile and the main forces have capitulated to the Italian Republic. Socialists are out. Urban expansion. Australasia cities are already growing rapidly. We must enact policies which will encourage the migration of people from the rural areas to the urban ones. If our industrial base is to grow, we will need a ready source of workers to man the factories. And this is January. I've actually been wasting some time here. I wanted to do this. 344 days, so it's just under a year. Maybe like doing a doctrine. But it does mean that I'm going to get that in early 39. Paraguay falls to syndicalism again. The nation of Paraguay has been in crisis for several years, in part due to the failing policies of José Félix Estegabita administration, which arose in the wake of the 1934 counter-coup against the syndicalist rule. After a swift yet bloody battle today even, in the streets of Asuncion between the government, revolutionary and nationalist forces, it is the Arbristalatas that have triumphed, seizing control of the presidential palace and declaring Estegabiribria's government dead. So Paraguay has fallen to syndicalism, as has Argentina now. Is Bolivia still fighting? Bolivia is still fighting Paraguay. So Paraguay went socialist while fighting a civil war against Bolivia. Russia has declared war on Turkestan. And we have a couple of units ready to deploy, which is good.
Where to, boss?
Start you training. Okay. Stability is already up to 22%, which is good. Political popularity just isn't. We never have another election, so how on earth am I going to get my party popularity above 14%? A day of mourning. Today marks the 150th anniversary of the first fleet landing in Australia. While many mainland Australians are celebrating the day, the native Aborigines are mourning the loss of their land and the suffering of their people. In response, and with the assistance of the Australasia First Movement, the Aborigines Progressive Association has held a protest for equal rights, full citizenship and better education for all Australian Aboriginal peoples. Jack Patton, the leader of the organisation and a notable member of the AFM, stated, "Give us the chance. We do not wish to be left behind in Australasia's march to progress. We ask for full citizen rights." This protest has garnered mixed reviews, but in turn has gained support from both the Aboriginal population for the AFM, as well as the egalitarians frustrated with left-wing politics. Oh, come on! We even did the social reforms. Which was pro-Aboriginal. Feels a little bit weird that AFM would get the benefit from that. Okay, multiple invasion of Ireland, including now they've... No, they still haven't taken a port. Damn it, Britain, come on! Annecy has fallen. Fights going over that. We have a couple of Socialist Republic units back here. Oster Valley has reborn. Yeah, this isn't feeling very good for the French. I have a feeling I'm basically going to be fighting this one on my own, which is not good because I do not have the population for it. Excavation 1. So, 38. We have got some new technologies. We could get the construction ahead of time. I feel like I want to. It's going to basically be a year and a half ahead of time. No, 1939. It's going to be 6 months ahead. Plus the time it would take to research, so it's going to be like 8 months ahead of time. I'm doing a lot more ahead of time stuff than I usually do. And we have finished a dock. No, we finished 2 dockyards. Why is there only 1 being added here? Urban expansion finished. Good. Let's get the wealth of the antipodes. Australia and New Zealand both have massive untapped resources which need only be found and properly exploited. Ours is a dominion of mineral wealth which few other countries can hope to compare to. Or at least, it could be. Only set 5 to be built and 1 has been. I might just... yeah, okay. I can't maths. I'm streaming live, so of course I can't maths. It's this well-known fact that streamers streaming cannot maths. Just doesn't work. So are you changing your manpower law, ever? I don't think you're allowed to. National Protection Alliance has declared war on Shanxing Chango. Gandhi takes power in the Bharatiya Commune. Nukes for everyone. Everyone's on the same manpower law, but CNTFI is definitely just out. Okay, so we are a syndicalist government. Research speed and decryption, political power, research speed encryption. We want research speed decryption. So what is my research speed now? Plus 27%. Not too shabby. The Socialist Republic of Honduras has joined the Revolutionary Front. It's nice, but please join the Third Internationale. Oh, good grief. Austria's almost across the Alps. I have a feeling that France is actually going to lose before Germany even joins the war. Meanwhile, Hyderabad has actually taken out the Princely Federation. Interesting. Okay, you became Hyderabad. This is what was the Princely Federation. The only way that they can actually go is Splendid Isolation. Interesting. Not allowed to align with any of the others. Oh, until they get India united, then they can join one of the others. And this isn't actually mutually exclusive. Yeah, it's not. Germany's declared war on Lithuania. Poor Lithuania. And we have a research slot, which we should probably make use of. Better radar. Let's do the oil. Revolt in the Reichspakt. After the fall of the Russian Empire to the Weltkrieg, Germany occupied vast swathes of Eastern Europe, establishing puppet governments across it and creating the Reichspakt military alliance. This tightly knit alliance of countries was not meant to last, it seems, as Eastern Europe roared back into action this week in the revolt in the German sphere. The Lithuanians, led by Kaiserreich, their Vadas leader, have declared full independence from Germany, and this has sparked a chain reaction in neighbouring countries. Germany has moved in with a military response, but will it be enough to crush the spirit of nationalism? Considering how they are not at war with France at the same time, yes. Yes, it will. Mashariki Kingdom has capitulated. That's twice. Both of the that place. So, next up, we can seek new markets, which will actually give us a bunch of political power. And then we can end the depression. Rather than stick to our traditional trade partners, perhaps we should make an effort to find other countries that would make for a ready home for Australasian goods. America, Japan, Germany. Really, the list is almost endless, and surely remaining solely within the Commonwealth is what has gotten us into our current mess. Obviously. It's all their fault.
What are your orders, sir?
Aha, you guys can join the Rain Army. And a bunch of you should have... well, one of you has appeared there. We are still very low on guns.
Orders, sir.
Republicans win the Greek referendum. The recent referendum on the future of the Greek monarchy has finally ended, with the Republicans declaring victory. Greek Prime Minister Georgios Papandreou announced that King Alexander would not be invited back from exile, and that the country would remain a republic as per the wishes of the public. The referendum caused deep divisions within Greece, and while the matter of the monarchy may be settled, it will still be an uphill battle for the government to heal these divisions for the years to come. It's a good idea to influence other nations to your side for more help. You can't. Not in Kaiserreich. Russia has declared war on Georgia. Ah, and now we can also develop some more resources. And we can also improve our stability. Or we can improve rally public support, which increases our party popularity, which we absolutely must do. Now, am I short on any resources currently? Aluminium and rubber. Is there a source of aluminium? There is. In Victoria. Make it happen. And that's going to allow me to produce more planes. So the Australian Air Force is going to be a thing. Britain has absolutely just failed in everything they're trying to do. The fall of Washington. Syndicate militias have advanced towards and captured the symbolic capital of the United States, Washington, D.C. Yeah, the CSA is doing okay. CNTFAI, not really, and French Internationale, definitely not. The Ottoman Empire took 31 states. Egypt was annexed, Yemen was annexed, Saudi Arabia, and also the Mashriq. Ireland has joined the Reichspakt. And there it is. The Second World War is about to begin. Because the Union of Britain's already at war with Ireland. Ireland's now in Germany's alliance. Any second now. Fall of France is going to be, like, gone. Is the Internationale actually going to lose to Austria? Yes. Yes, they will. I want to know how many troops you've lost. Where is that war? Where is that war? Ah, here we go. Liberian-Austrian War, apparently. France has lost way less than I expected. Britain's lost the most, because of course they have. How has France lost this few? Most have been lost by Austria. How's Austria doing for manpower? Because this is not a greater Austria. They're running a bit low, and France definitely isn't. Second Weltkrieg. And here it is. The Weltkrieg claimed the lives of countless young men from all over the world in a conflict on an industrial scale, but it appears that even the nightmare that could not deter man's lust for blood. After over 20 years of proxy warfare, diplomatic pressure and political squabbles, the uneasy peace between Germany and France has broken down. War is hell. And so, on that note, I'm going to say thank you for watching. I do hope you're enjoying this so far. If you are, be sure to hit that follow button so you get notifications when I'm live again in the future. If you're really enjoying this, then please do hit that subscribe button. Any support you can offer keeps this channel running. So thank you very much for that. If you want to support the channel other ways, you can check out the Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/MordredViking. I do have a YouTube channel, which you can find at youtube.com/MordredViking. And if you are watching this on YouTube right now, then please make sure to ring that bell. It is actually way more important than I ever realized, because YouTube has now actually admitted that they are not pushing content to those who don't ring the bell. So if you're a subscriber and you want to receive the notifications, ring the bell. And also, if you haven't done so already on YouTube, then do consider subscribing. That would be awesome. Then finally, I have a Discord, which you can find at the link I'm posting now, or if you're on YouTube, you can find it linked in the description below. That is where the community hangs out. They're really cool, and you should totally come and hang with us. It's always a pleasure to see some new faces. Maharo, thank you very much for those bits. Crikey. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. I feel kind of bad that I'm stopping now. And speaking of stopping now, this is my last stream for like a week and a half or thereabouts. So tomorrow I'm just not around, and then Friday I am off camping for a week and a bit, so I'm going to be stuck in a field with very little internet connectivity, so I do apologise if I don't immediately respond to people on Discord and that type of thing. I will be back on Sunday, not the coming Sunday, the Sunday afterwards, which is Sunday the 4th of August. So Sunday the 4th of August is going to be the next stream, and that is going to be the resumption of the Community Clash. Don't panic though, the Community Clash multiplayer for Europa Universalis is still continuing on this Sunday, but Sir Squire is going to be commentating it as a guest commentator, and I will be hosting it on my channel if I can get enough connectivity to do /host on my phone while I am, like I said, in the middle of a field. Anyway, in the meantime, thank you everyone for watching. I really do hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in a week and a bit. See you then. Goodbye.